Hi guys, happy Taco Tuesday. We're about, it's 11:11, by the way, about 49 minutes away from the government shutdown. It's 100% going to happen. There are two important things that we want to focus on. Is that Taco has said that we've gotten $17 trillion of investments from other countries related to tariffs. And the problem with that is if we did have $17 trillion, we would not have a government shutdown because there would be enough funds to not have a shutdown or even need Democrats or legislation or Congress to approve anything. The reason why we're having a shutdown is because he needs Congress to appropriate or pass through legislation a bill to increase funding. And we wouldn't need that funding if we got $17 trillion. So that's the first biggest lie. We'll go over that in a minute. The second lie is that he is now blaming the Democrats, saying that they're looking for health care for illegal immigrants. And of course, he can't do that. So that's a lie. It's not for illegal immigrants. Illegal immigrants can't have insurance. Okay, so let's just go through it, which will explain it. But I just want to make sure you understood those two key points.
Why the shutdown exposes the tariff myth and the truth about Trump RX. The government's looming shutdown is the clearest proof yet that Donald Trump's boast of trillions from tariffs and deals is a myth. If the money actually existed and was flowing into the Treasury, there would be no debt ceiling crisis, no stopgap funding fights, and no shutdown standoffs. The very fact that federal agencies face a funding cutoff demonstrates the opposite. The revenue claims are exaggerated political theater, not economic reality. This is the central message. The shutdown itself proves Trump is lying. If the trillions were real, a shutdown simply would not be happening. The tariff myth. Trump has repeatedly said the U.S. has made trillions from tariffs and deals with countries and companies, at times suggesting figures as high as $17 trillion in just 8 months. These sound bites are designed to project financial dominance, painting the U.S. as flush with cash because foreign nations and corporations are paying up. But the numbers don't add up. Actual tariff revenue in 2025 is closer to $170 billion per year, a fraction of Trump's claims. Even record tariff collections, about $30 billion in a single month, barely dent the multi-trillion-dollar annual spending on Social Security, Medicare, defense, and debt interest. $17 trillion in 8 months would exceed the entire U.S. federal budget many times over, plainly impossible. If trillions were really pouring in, America would not be days from a shutdown. Why shutdowns still happen? Shutdowns occur when revenues and borrowing authority fall short of meeting obligations Congress has already authorized. They are about math and politics. Math: even with tariffs, the U.S. still borrows trillions to fund operations. Politics: shutdowns are used as leverage, with parties refusing to pass budgets or raise the debt ceiling to force concessions. If tariffs really covered everything, there'd be no shutdowns, no debt ceiling fights, and no furloughed federal workers. Trump RX and Pfizer's role. On September 30, 2025, Trump unveiled TrumpRx.gov, a government-run drug purchasing site, alongside Pfizer CEO Albert Bourla. Trump billed it as proof that his administration was delivering trillions in savings through lower drug costs. At the press conference, Trump spotlighted 4 Pfizer drugs: Eucrisa, eczema, Duovi, postmenopausal therapy, Zavspret, migraine nasal spray, and Xeljanz, rheumatoid arthritis, claiming they would see 80% or greater price cuts. He called the agreement historic, insisting U.S. patients would soon pay less than anywhere else in the world. Pfizer's official line: it will sell directly to patients on TrumpRx.gov with significant discounts. Discounts, as high as 85% on some drugs, on average 50% across its portfolio. New drugs will launch in the U.S. at global parity. But specific terms remain confidential. CEO Bourla called it a structural breakthrough. Yet the fine print shows variation. Some drugs may be cut 85%, others just 20 to 40%. What reporters found. Reuters, Medicaid drugs tied to Most Favored Nation, MFN, prices, direct-to-consumer rollout delayed until 2026. Politico, 3-year tariff exemption for Pfizer under Trump's Section 232 probe, average 50% cuts, up to 85% on some products. CBS, Trump claimed 50 to 100% cuts, but no official list of prices was released. Guardian/Washington Post/FT, skepticism about durability, transparency, and enforcement. In short, the headlines promise the moon, the fine print leaves everything in doubt. The tell, Trump even claimed drug prices would fall 1,000% while the board behind him said 80%. Not one person on stage corrected him. The contradiction, unchallenged, revealed the press conference as performance optics over substance. Section 232 and the blackmail strategy. To make the Pfizer deal look legitimate, Trump invoked Section 232 of U.S. trade law, which allows tariffs on imports for national security reasons. But applying Section 232 to domestic pharmaceutical companies is legally absurd. This is not trade policy, it's coercion. Trump told drug makers, lower prices or face tariffs. That is blackmail, broadcast live on national television. Financier Howard Lutnick compounded the problem by calling the Section 232 probe legitimate. In doing so, he gave Wall Street cover to what was plainly a sham, legitimizing the abuse while Trump threatened companies in real time. The shutdown and the blame game. Despite all the boasts about trillions and drug savings, Trump himself admitted a shutdown is likely. But instead of acknowledging fiscal mismanagement, he blamed Democrats, claiming, "They are shutting down the government, we aren't. We're hot now, and we want the government open. The number one reason we are going to see a shutdown is because Democrats want to give illegal immigrants free health care." He even tied drug prices to immigrants, claiming undocumented people demand free health care and that Democrats want to give it to them, while also painting immigrants as violent criminals sent by foreign governments to commit murder and rape. This is projection and scapegoating rolled into one. The shutdown exists because revenues fall short, not because of immigrant health care. Drug prices are shaped by pharma companies and supply chains, not by immigrants. Blaming immigrants distracts from the failure of Trump's trillions narrative. The pattern, illusion on illusion. From tariffs to Trump RX, the pattern is the same. Tariffs, claimed trillions, reality just billions. Pfizer deal, claimed 80 to 1,000% cuts, reality closer to 20 to 50% with no transparency. Section 232, framed as law, used as blackmail. Shutdown, blamed on Democrats and immigrants, caused by fiscal shortfalls. Every layer is designed for headlines and sound bites, not solutions. Final central message. Trump's claim of $17 trillion in 8 months, his boasts of the hottest economy ever, his insistence that a shutdown is likely because Democrats want to give immigrants free health care, his blackmail of Pfizer under Section 232, Howard Lutnick's legitimization of the sham, and his contradictory claims of 1,000% versus 80% drug price cuts all collapse under the same truth: the shutdown is proof the rhetoric is a lie. If trillions were real, there'd be no shutdown. If drug prices were truly down 80 to 1,000%, Americans would feel it. If the economy were the hottest ever, there'd be no fiscal cliff. Instead, America sees the opposite: a broke government, empty promises, scapegoating, and blackmail dressed up as policy. The shutdown isn't just dysfunction. It is the undeniable proof that the rhetoric is a lie.
There you go, guys. So we're seeing a shutdown in about 40 minutes. All right. So we can talk more about that on our live, but I just want to make sure you saw this video as you digest the lies that we're going to be seeing starting after the shutdown. More lies.